好了。Hello everyone, can you see me? Hi everyone. Good evening. Here, good evening, and good morning, everyone. I would be very happy to join you for the Ask Me Anything. Actually, you can ask the question in the Telegram channel, and I will answer in the live stream. So I will pick up the questions in the Telegram channel and answer some of the questions. So the whole period of the Ask Me Anything will be 1 hour. I hope it will be helpful. So anyone want to ask me any questions? Just type your question in the Telegram. Oh yeah, Daniel. Yes. You know, sometimes all the Asian face, they really look similar. Actually, this is the first time I do the Ask Me Anything. Just post your questions here in the Telegram channel. Okay, so the first question will be, let's see. There is someone asking your relationship with Vechain and quantum. Okay, this is a very good question. Actually, I am the CEO of BC, and BC is the creator of Vechain and quantum. Actually, back to 2 years ago, you can see a lot of news from BC with the in the WeChat news channel and in a lot of news. Actually, you know, BC has a very strong team, and we support a lot of different projects. And then in 2017, in March, actually we decided to issue a crowd sale for quantum, and then in August we decided to issue a ICO for Vechain. At that time, you know, Vechain is quite hot, and the quantum is also very hot. So this is a relationship between me and the Vechain and the quantum. The Vechain leader, Sunny Lu, he was the COO of BC, and he is also the shareholder of BC as well, even for now. And for quantum, the leader for quantum is Patrick Dai, and he is also the shareholder, the second biggest shareholder of BC for now, and he was the CTO of BC. So that is the relationship between I myself and those two projects. Okay. Next question. Let's see. What's your opinion about the fact whales will buy everything. Actually, I think whales, I think there are some people, they have a lot of Ethereum they can, but it is everyone's call if he is willing to put the Ethereum in this project. If he wants to put the Ethereum in this project in Fusion, actually he put a lot of faith. So if we put the faith in this project, he definitely will protect the project. I don't worry about the whale will do that, because for any project, the whale can buy in the market with no doubt. So if whale they buy the tokens in the market, then they can hold a very big bunch of the tokens. So you can never stop that things happen. And the next question will be, what is the confusion about Vechain relationship coming from? There was no relationship between these two foundations, like Fusion Foundation and the Vechain Foundation and other foundations. They are all independent. Even today, Vechain Foundation is independent from BC, and the Quantum Foundation is independent from BC. All of those foundations, they are independent. So the same in Fusion Foundation. It has no relationship with any other foundations, and it is a non-profitable organization. And the purpose of the foundation is to create value and to try to achieve the objective and the vision for the different projects. Okay, there is another question. Hi, Han. Yes, use. The next question. Oh, no question will be deleted. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Question from Kyle. His question is, I'm hyped as hell for this project. Are you here for the long haul? Why did you decide to sell both Vechain and Quantum, and how is Fusion different? Oh, BC is the organization created previous two projects. I have never been in those two community projects like Quantum. I was the steering committee member, but I don't work for that foundation. And for Vechain, I don't work for that foundation. It was BC who created those two projects. Work is very attractive. We have a very attractive and ambitious vision to create a crypto finance era in the future. And definitely, I will work very long in this project, because from my perspective, finance is the right industry the blockchain is born to serve. So I think we can do a lot of things in this area. Someone asked, I think you're still listed on the Quantum Foundation page. Actually, my name is in the white paper, and I was the steering committee member. So that's all for the relationship between I myself and the Quantum Foundation. But I don't work for Quantum Foundation. I work for BC. Another project. So is Fusion associated with BC, or is it your private project? We share the same vision, all of the shareholders of BC, that if we want to do the project in a community way, we don't want the company to control the project. That's why we make every project independent. We make every project independent. like Vechain and Quantum, they are both independent. And for any any other projects BSC might do in the future, it will be independent as well. So there is no relationship between a lot of different foundations. They are all independent. The next question: Could you explain a little bit more? What do you expect of community partners in the future? Okay, that's a good one. The reason we issued the community partnership program is that I think community is essential of the project. It's not like a traditional way. We set up a company, then we try to make profit through that organization. But in the future, I believe all of the projects, the community-wise projects, especially in the blockchain projects, they definitely needs to rely on the community. That's why we issued a community partners program. And everyone who enrolled in the try to register in the community partnership program, actually, we will include them in the community. And we want to manage the community and ask them for help to develop the community together. And at the same time, of course, we will have some dedicated fund to support those kind of activities to make more people to be included. That's why we call our Fusion project as an inclusive crypto finance project. The next question: I'm trying to register for a community partner, but there is no registration window. Any help? Just 1 hour ago, 1 hour 10 minutes ago, the community partnership program is closed. And later on, actually, the foundation will announce the result, how many people has registered. But don't worry, if anyone who hasn't registered, they also can be involved in the future. But we want the base. We want the people who registered from 3 days ago, and we have those people to support the community to develop in the future. The next question: do I need to register first to participate in the ICO, or I can contribute when the ICO will start? You don't need to register the community partnership program before you participate the voluntary participation program. So it's okay. And so far, we have a huge bunch of people who want to be the partner for our community. I think I'm really excited. And in the future, our people will filter and screen all the valid data of the registration. And definitely we can have some, we will reach out to those people and try to build the community together. The next question, let's pick one. DJ, can you tell me how you see Fusion interacting with the existing financial structures in the future, and how you're anticipating regulation? That's a very good question. 2 years ago, actually 2 years ago, a lot of different organizations, including the financial institutions, they spend a lot of money, and they try to adopt blockchain technology in their existing system, try to utilize this technology, help them to build that next generation of the finance platform. But so far, we can barely see any progress of that. But I think the reason is maybe they are not doing it in the right way, because let's say it's just like we are trying to use the internet and IT technology for a post office. If you are only trying to utilize the IT technology to restructure the post office, I think that's not right. The right direction is to build a system like email, totally new and disruptive, and make things really make information and the information flow will be on the internet, not just like the old-fashioned ways. So that's why we built the Fusion. But you can see from the very beginning, we tried a lot to get ourselves, including the Fusion Foundation, to be connected with a lot of very experienced financial experts, and they gave us a lot of suggestions and advice. I think they are all very valuable. And in the future, I believe all of the financial institutions, they can have a way to interact with the infrastructure Fusion provide for them. The technology we built for Fusion is that we can have all kinds of tokens, which is controlled by the private keys, can be interacting with each other on Fusion. In the future, I think a lot of different asset-backed tokens and other tokenized assets can be running on the blockchain itself. And even more, I think we can have some interaction with those tokens and running on Fusion as well. There is a long question. Okay, let's read this. Someone asked, some people were worried that over 90% of their contribution will be refunded. Is this the right strategy for ICO? I think we just take it like this way. If we have 10 times of the Ethereum, then we request sent to our smart contract. I think that means a lot of people, they agree and they share the same vision of Fusion. And that will be beneficial to our project as well, because a lot more people, they really want to participate. Even 90% of their contribution will be refunded. I think it's not a problem because they have they always have piece of the Fusion token, and the rest of the fund can be returned to them. I think that's the fair way to do the ICO. And I don't want this project to be like other projects. The project will be closed in 10 seconds or 20 seconds. That will ruin a lot of people's uh, um, vision because they don't have the chance to participate. Even in the traditional security market, there are some saying that when people, they cannot get the token and the share at the very beginning, they will not be involved in the rest of their life. So I hope we can do it in a different way, and a lot of people, they can participate. So that's the philosophy we have for this project, and that's echo to our inclusive crypto finance vision as well. All right, let's read the next question. Some solve this problem with whitelist and personal cap. Oh, that's not a question. The next one, I have a question as well. It seems with the private keys in nodes that security is very important, as well as that it is a weak point. How will this be addressed? The beauty of blockchain and the beauty of Bitcoin and other blockchain is that they are trying to create a totally different world other than our existing world, like a traditional financial market. in the future, but I think it is a way we can choose. But from the very beginning, Fusion can be built to serve all of those crypto tokens, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all kinds of other tokens in the blockchain industry. But later on, we can the Fusion Foundation and the Fusion platform can be connected to a lot of different platforms, including the centralized financial institutions. So in that case, maybe some different way we can utilize, such as the account system and other function can be built on top of our platform to make sure the value. The next question, can we at least get a counter? Fusion token, and what's the proportion you send to the smart contract will return? Yes. The next question, I didn't find any whitelist registration on website. Our community partnership program has been closed, and the whitelist actually it's maybe someone called it a KYC. There are a lot of different levels of KYC. The KYC in banks, they are the most strict one, and for other different applications, for other different purposes, they have different level of KYC. And we do certain level of KYC, and then people can register. And the next question, let's see the next question. To clarify, if an investor invests 10 Ethereum on day one of token sale, it is possible that on last day of token sale, 90% is refunded. That means our funds are locked up for the whole token sale period without us knowing if our full contribution is accepted. Yes, your funds sent to the smart contract, they are safe in the smart contract. Only after the sales period, you can get it back, and actually it will be returned to your address automatically. Some people ask, are you similar to Vechain? Yeah, we have some comparison between Fusion and the other different types of blockchain, which is focusing on finance and focusing on the cross-chain, such as Polkadot and Vechain and Icon or something else. We have a comparison table. Maybe we can post it in the Telegram channel later, and you can see it. When people they are trying to solve the cross-chain problem, I think we can do it in a different way. But in Fusion, the only thing we care about is the value between different tokens and the value transfer among different types of blockchains. That's the purpose of the Fusion. And when we are trying to realize the vision of Fusion, I think we can do it in a very different way than Vechain and other different projects. So yes, there might be some similar vision shared with other cross-chain different cross-chain projects, and we can also we also share some of the same vision with those financial blockchain projects, but we're doing it and we're doing the project in a different way. The next question: how many tokens do you need to run a masternode? Actually, we don't run a masternode. And you can see from the white paper, we have two layers built in the consensus. The first layer is the POS layer, which is targeted to solve the parallel computing objective. And in this layer, we all of the nodes can be divided into different groups randomly. And in that case, we can increase our bandwidth, increase our throughput to make sure all of the tokens, the value transfer can be running at the same time. And the second layer is the ledger booking layer, which is run through a way of POW. Combined with these two layers, this is our consensus. So we don't run the master node for now. The next question: what is the final hard cap in the public sale in dollar? I think it's a hard question to answer because the price of Ethereum in US dollar, it varies very quickly. So we cannot anticipate the value in US dollar, and we don't do that. This is a purely blockchain and the token projects. Okay, the next question: how far along in the development process? Yeah, we started our fusion project half year ago, and we tried to solve some major problem and try to build the core technology for fusion, such as the decentralized private key control mechanism and the consensus as well. And in that case, we can develop the smart contract among different token mechanism, and we can build so that we can build a smart contract among all kinds of different blockchains. Is there a working prototype? Yes, we have the prototype and the proof of concept for each components, and we will upload the codes in the GitHub step by step. And we definitely need help from the community. You can check the code for us as well. And definitely we will launch the mainnet. From our expectation, the mainnet will be launched in May of 2018. And in a milestone, we hope we can close it in the second quarter. The next question: how can a community contribute to the project? The community, just as I said, the community is really very important to each project, to every blockchain project. We can expect the community to have a very, very active support for the foundation, including technology. We will hire some people who are active and share the same vision of fusion from the community to our foundation, to work for the foundation, to be a part of the foundation. So this is the first aspect, is the technology. The second one is, we need to have more and more scenario, the financial scenario running on fusion. So we need a lot of help to get us to be connected with a lot of other financial institutions and other developers to build the application, the real situation on fusion. Maybe in very soon you will see a very short video, which is elaborating how what's the next generation crypto finance era the Fusion Foundation is going to build. And you can imagine there will be a risk-free loan among all of those different types of cryptocurrencies and the tokens. Very soon you will see it. Any business partnership under discussion as yet? Yes, definitely. And the reason we have the people on board to be our advisors and to be our selected supporters, they are all well connected and they all have rich experience in technology and in the finance industry. We rely on all of those community supporters to have to get foundation to be connected with all those kinds of partnerships in the future. And I think at that time we can see a lot of different partnerships. And so far, yes, we have one supply chain management partners, and we are also discussing with another organization who is going to build a very creative and disruptive financial scenario on Fusion. So at the time you will see. The next question. Maybe a bit of topic, but what is your vision about the cryptocurrencies and the fact the PPL are saying we are in the bubble? All right, that's a great question. I will spend some money to talk about the crypto finance era. Today we have thousands of different types of tokens, different types of blockchains. Maybe I think more than tens of thousands of. And the function of the blockchain and the tokens realized today is only the payment and the transaction. There are no such kind of financial functions, like you cannot build a bond for the Bitcoin. You cannot have a bank note like the bank note. There will be a bunch of money will be sent into your account in a certain period, like 60 days or 90 days. But in today's blockchain infrastructure, there is no way to do that. Just like the finance, just like the currency era 200 years ago. But today, there are a lot of financial derivatives in the market, like the banknote, insurance, security, futures to support the trading, to support the interaction of the economy. So I think the blockchain today, they are lacking of some kind of financial functions. The purpose of Fusion Foundation is to build a layer on top of all kinds of different tokens and the blockchain cryptocurrencies. We are trying to enable all of them with the financial function. For example, we can build a smart contract between Ethereum and Bitcoin. Between Ethereum and Bitcoin, maybe we can build a smart contract included 3 different types of tokens. In that case, we can define with the smart contract, some token will flow to another account under the condition that the third type of cryptocurrencies will be paid in to the third account. So that kind of different functions can never be achieved, can never be realized in today's infrastructure. So the reason we are trying to build Fusion is to have this layer on top of all kinds of different cryptocurrencies to make it happen. In the future, you can see the different smart contracts. that's saying maybe you have an account in Bitcoin, and the smart contract says there will be some cash flow in Bitcoin goes to your account in 60 days, and you can even use that to send to some others to make sure all kinds of those different crypto tokens can be can has those kind of financial functions. So this is what we call the crypto finance era. And once we build this infrastructure, all kinds of different tokens, they are enabled with the financial functions. All right, let's move on to the next question. Any question? Let's move on to the next question. DJ, the roadmap says in third quarter of 2018, complete 100 billion US dollar of distributed control service. Is this a realistic estimation, or do you have partnership already to accurately predict this? This is an estimation, but it is not a ungrounded estimation. We have some calculations because today, the market cap for the cryptocurrencies, they're almost, let's say, it's around 600 billion US dollar, 600 billion US dollar, yeah. And we cannot imagine this will happen 2 years ago, but today it achieved in the 600 billion US dollar equivalent crypto tokens all over the world. And the purpose of Fusion is to provide a distributed control service of the private key for all of those types of cryptocurrencies, and even for some centralized financial institutions. We have some discussion with some centralized financial institution, and we also have some discussion with current foundations. I mean the blockchain foundations, and we have the roadmap to have them to running all of those tokens controlled by them to be on Fusion platform, which will help them to enable their blockchain to have a financial function. So we have an estimation and a pipeline to build, and in the future we will realize that step by step. The next question: how long have you been involved in crypto, and what was your story? How you first started? Oh, it was a long story. So I started my career in crypto and the blockchain industry since early 2013. Before that, I worked for IBM for about 12 years. And before I quit IBM, I was the general manager for the Southwest China. And one day, I heard from one guy, one friend working in IBM research lab. He told me there is a technology called Bitcoin, and he felt it was really interesting. But there is a technology in Tencent, and they have a token, QQ token. So I was really curious, what's the difference between Bitcoin and the QQ token? Because we all thought the QQ token is not a big deal, and it can never call it's a technology. So I read a white paper of Bitcoin, and then I was amazed by this technology. Then I started my career in this industry with the BC. Later, 2013, I myself registered a company which is called BC, and I started my career in this in this industry. So this is the story. The next question for DJ. One of the key reasons why many of the traditional financial functions do not yet work on the blockchain is that the volatility of tokens doesn't allow currently price risk. How and to what extent, for you think these can be resolved? From my perspective, I think today's blockchain and the crypto token industry, they're totally a different world. And we can see it in a different way, like the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum, the volatility is really terrifying. But in another way, we can see the price of US dollar versus the fiat currencies versus Bitcoin varies every day. So we can see it in a different way. But I think from my perspective, I think we can tolerate that. And in the future, you know, I think there must be some organization like the government and other organization, they want to digitalize the fiat currency and using the blockchain technology. And then we can also involve those kind of different blockchain, those kind of digital fiat currency to be involved on the Fusion platform as well. And in that case, the token, the digital currency can interact with other tokens as well. So it's not like I think it has nothing to do with the volatility and the price, but the function. Because today, if you can provide the full function of finance, I think we can do a lot of things. Just as I mentioned, you can see a very attractive short video, animated video, which will show you a very disruptive way to do the bond market, to do the risk-free loan, to do a lot of different things. Okay, the next question. Will I miss out with the early bird if I get home from work late? Oh, you will not, because the early bird period will be running for whole 24 hours, so it's okay. The next question. The next question. Vechain has issued a statement. I think I answered that question already. Yes, evidence. So maybe there is some wrong saying. I think I checked the link. It is translated badly in maybe from Google Translation. So I'm not sure. The next question. I registered but haven't received any email yet. Can I still take part in the public sale? Oh, the public sale. The voluntary participation program has nothing to do with the community partnership program. The community partnership program run between January the 25th. Actually, it's for the community partnership, so it has nothing to do with the voluntary participation program. You still can participate from February the 1st. Yes. The next question: where do you see Fusion in 3 years? After I had the discussion with a lot of experts in the financial market, and especially when I talked to the advisors of Fusion and the selected supporters of Fusion, they all share a very excited vision and ambitious vision with me together. They think they can see the next generation of financial market on blockchain. And it can be running efficiently at a very low cost, and even today there can never be a risk-free loan, but in the future all the loan, all the interactions, all the financial activities can be running on smart contract on the blockchain. So we are able to provide a risk-free loan scenario on top of Fusion. And later on, a lot of different functions can be provided on Fusion as well. So I think in 3 years, we cannot see that far. But basically, 1 year from now, I think we can have a lot of different tokens, very high value tokens running on Fusion. And we can have some partners. We can have a lot of partners have different scenario. I mean, the financial application scenario running on top of Fusion, which is which is going to provide the financial functions for those kind of different tokens. So this is what I can see within 1 year. But for the next year, I think the major objective of Fusion is to get ourselves to be connected with a lot of different centralized financial institutions. Once they have tokenized any assets, once they have some different application designed on top of Fusion, we can provide some kind of infrastructure service for them as well. Next question. What is partnership registration? Next question is, what do you think of Bitcoin and Ethereum and a scaling issue? What is your vision on this matter? Today there are really very lot of different cryptocurrencies in the world. And each blockchain, each cryptocurrencies, they have their own function, they have their own design. They can provide very profound different functions in their. The Bitcoin, the purpose is make a peer-to-peer e-cash system, and the Ethereum, as we all know, they are trying to build a smart contract platform and the decentralized application platform. So all of those tokens and the blockchains, they have their own purpose. So the reason Fusion is not trying to replace them. There must be all other kinds of blockchain emerge in the future. But what Fusion is trying to do is to build a platform to provide and enable all of those cryptocurrencies to have a financial function. So it's a kind of collaboration. What is your competitive advantage over competition? Regarding competition, I think, in blockchain world, there is no competition at all. If you want to succeed, the only way is to embrace the community and embrace other technology, So I don't think the competition exists in blockchain, just like the old-fashioned. If you build a company, the reason, the purpose of company is to generate profits with others. But in blockchain, the blockchain foundation is a independent and a non-profitable organization. It has no intention to compete with others. The only way is to embrace and collaborate with others. So that's the purpose of that's the next generation of the collaboration in blockchain. I can foresee more and more this kind of foundation organization will come up and have the collaboration with others. The next question, do you plan to join Icon, Vechain, and Ion in the interoperability alliance. Oh, yeah, just as I said, there is an option. The only way you can serve the community is to collaborate. So in the future, definitely our foundation will be connected with all kinds of different organizations. We will keep the community posted. The next question, let's check. And is there a lockup period for a team and a pre-sale investor? The lockup, the public address for the token held by the foundation will be public. So any people will see. If the foundation doesn't have any faith in this project, we are in danger. In that case, we are in danger. But in every case we did before, we never dump the tokens before anyone else. The reason is that we have faith. The team in foundation is the people who have faith in this project and share the vision. So we definitely will do our best to support the foundation, support the community to realize our vision. So I think the people in the first criteria we selected for the foundation is that they share the same vision of us. The next question, where is your company located? Oh, we are not a company. The Fusion Foundation is a non-profit organization registered in Singapore. The next question, it's just a community. Where in the future we can contribute to the growth of the Fusion and become base supporter of the project. Yes, Telegram is one of the community base, and in the future we will open some satellite office all over the world, and have more people working for Fusion Foundation to join us, to be part of the team, to share the vision with us together. So these are all these are the activities we're going to have in the future, and even more. We are thinking about more activities which can be held by the community as well. So in the future, definitely, anyone who wants to participate and contribute to the community, just focus on our project, and the foundation will design a lot of different activities for you to join. The next question, can you describe how your private key protection technology works? Are you protected in case any private key leak and assets are lost? The detail is described in the white paper, but basically, we design a mechanism. The private key, actually, you turn to the foundation, is generated piece by piece, and we have proved in math no private no nodes running in the Fusion network can get the full piece. So the question is how to make it safe. So we had built a proof of concept, and we wrote the code running and approved by a lot of different academic, like the university and the professors, to make it realize. We realize this function, so that we can provide the cross chain and the smart contract among all of those different tokens. How many members or staff do you have? So far for the foundation, we have 22 people working for the foundation, and 12 plus 2 are technical people. So that's all for today, but I believe the foundation will grow very fast. DJ, is there a team working full-time on Fusion? Are you working full-time on this? Or is this in your spare time? Definitely not in my spare time. I will contribute myself into this project and with full-time. And all the team members, they are full-time. They contribute in their way. The technical people, they contribute the technology in full-time to support this project as well. The next question. Will Fusion be its own blockchain? Yes, it will be a public blockchain. It is not designed on any other different blockchains because we need a very newly built consensus. We need the data can be stored on the blockchain, and we need to build the core is to build a decentralized private key control mechanism. So we build it from scratch, and it is a totally our own blockchain. The next question, what is your involvement with Vechain and Quantum? I answered this question before. Let's see any other questions. Any other questions? We have 5 minutes more. We have 5 minutes more. Any questions? What is this question? Any other questions? I think this is not a question. Can I visit? You mean visit the place here? Yes, definitely. Yes, you can. Any questions? What are your marketing plans to make this project more well-known? Oh, you know, we are blamed that we did not do a lot of PR before we started this project. Yes, because we want to keep low profile before we solve the key the key technology problem, and we want to make the technology solid before we go public. That's why you barely hear any PR release about Fusion before. But from now on, actually, we started the PR and the marketing plan long time ago. Not long time ago, but 1 week ago. And you will, I can assure a lot of different news about Fusion in the future. We have a very solid plan. Any other questions? Some question raised. Some question raised. How does 30% for POS and POW work? It's a 30% of the token, a Fusion token, will be incentive for the nodes who working for the platform in the combination of POS and the POW, and the token will be given to those nodes as a reward. So this is how we distribute those 30% of the token. Another question raised. Oh, it's a domain, all right? Actually, you know, Facebook bought the facebook.com from others. The same for Fusion. We bought the Fusion domain from others. I think this word fusion is a really a nice name for our project because we really want to fuse those tokens together, and we try to provide a financial function for all of these tokens. So we select and pick that domain name, and I think the people who just to put the screenshot of Eric Moderson. I think he is the guy who held the domain name before. So we bought the domain name. Fusion.org is really a hot domain name. So when we tried to register it, it was owned by others. We have to buy it. Also, someone next question. I think I can answer one more question. One more question. Someone asked, why does can we be nodes? Of course, just like Bitcoin, and Ethereum, anyone can be the nodes. Anyone can run the nodes. I don't want to be a centralized thing. In the future, people can just download the source code and run it as the nodes, and just providing the service in terms of the POS and the POW, so that you can get a reward. Okay, thank you so much. 1 hour is really very short. I think you can also ask the questions in the Telegram. I will try to make time to answer your questions. I hope you will be asking questions in the Telegram, and the moderators, 24/7 moderators, they will be working in this group. And maybe in the future, in the near future, I will be talking to you very soon. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. I love you.